All right, welcome back to American Agenda. I'm Tom Vasili in for Bob Sellers along with Heather Childers. As we know, there's a lot of fake news out there, or headlines in general, that make you scratch your head. And today is April Fool's Day, and we want to have some fun with our panel today and have them try to guess which of the following stories is the April Fool's joke, is fake news. So we're giving them 3 different stories where 2 of them are real, 1 of them is fake. They're going to make their selection and tell us why they think it's fake. Panel, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so here are the headlines. And remember, only 1 of them is fake. The first one, Apple won't give Siri a female-sounding voice by default anymore to be sensitive to gender roles. Number 2, Star Wars is unveiling trans non-binary Jedi Knights. And number 3, Volkswagen is changing its name to Volkswagen to bolster their electric vehicle efforts. Okay, Stacy, I will start with you. Which do you think is the fake news story and why?
So I wish it was the Star Wars one because I'm such a huge Star Wars fan, and I'm afraid I have to go Volkswagen. That one is actually false because they just messed up. They have a really tinny sense of humor, and they messed this thing up so badly. So they had a press release. They were going to just do this as an April Fool's joke, change the name for one day, but it came out a few days early, and everybody is so ticked off because we already have trust issues with Volkswagen. Full disclosure, we have a car that's a Volkswagen, which we love very much, that our teenage son drives. But I got to tell you, it's a really, really interesting thing for them. It's a PR nightmare, and I can't imagine that whoever is in charge of this is still working there.
Steve, your thoughts?
I agree with Stacy. It's definitely Volkswagen. Prank gone wrong, horribly wrong, and unfortunately, again, Star Wars as well. Huge fan. Wish that was the fake news. But it's not. It's definitely Volkswagen.
All right. And Jim, your thoughts?
Well, again, I'm going to go with that. It's sad to say, but even with Volkswagen, I'm going to go with that story. But I will tell you, I'm not sure if it was a April Fool's joke or not, because people are talking about it. And I've been in business for 3 decades. One of the things I will tell you, whenever you get somebody talking about something like that name change, you get people zeroing in on your product. It actually could be good for you. I am disappointed that the others, like I said, I'm a Star Wars fan as well. But look, it's the changing culture that we're going through. But I would agree, it's Volkswagen.
We thought this might be a little more difficult, but I have a feeling that all of you did a little homework and you're tuned in to what's going viral these days. But that does make it a little more difficult, don't you think? Because there are these headlines that we see and you think, that has to be an April Fool's joke, even when it's, in January, or they have to be kidding, or I'm being punked. This can't really be real. When they talk about, censoring Dr. Seuss books, when they talk about Peter Pan not being politically correct these days, all those things that have been in the headlines lately, and Stacy, you and I have sat here and talked about it, that just don't seem like they would be real, but we're taking the time to talk about them and we're so concerned about them.
Heather, this is one of my most frequent texts into the little group chat for our family is, am I being punked or is this real? And the kids usually will answer back immediately, nope, that's real, Mom. Nope, that's real, Mom. Nope, that's real, Mom. Rarely do they say, oh yeah, no, that's a fake story. That's not real, and post a link to rebut what I'm asking. And that just goes to show you how crazy things are. Heather, you mentioned those stories. Let's not forget the Muppets. The Muppets are like a bad thing. Meanwhile, demon shoes, stripper poles, the Super Bowl halftime show, half-naked women on all the commercials. No more babies. Have you noticed how few commercials have actual babies in them anymore?
Right.
And then there's the whole thing with everything has a woke test to it, so everybody who's white is evil, everyone who's black is a victim. And you have to wonder when you read these stories, you're like, do people really live like this? Do people really feel this way? I don't know.
It's really, really, it's Hollywood and it's the left-wing media that are trying to push the country in a particular direction. And Steve, nothing really shocks us anymore. I think that to the point that Heather and Stacy were making, it is kind of sad when you think about it.
It absolutely is. Nothing does shock us. And we've been having April Fools ever since January 20th and the inauguration. So every day to me is an April Fool's Day, at least for the next 4 years.
Yeah, Jim, final word.
Well, I was going to say, the only thing is, I'm not sure if we had April Fools since January 20th because we all knew what we were getting. But in the end, you're right. Some of the things that come up every day are just amazing. In a country where we should be talking about the future, our grandchildren, our children, all the things that are important that made America so great, we end up getting down into these details that really aren't as important as really the future and our kids and our grandkids and this great country called America.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Steve Sanchez, Stacy Washington, and Jim Renacci, thank you so much for joining us today. Coming up, much more American Agenda after this.